Welcome back, everybody, to the Mind of Gabs. We are going to do another fundamentals video today. We're going to get right to it. This is going to be playing at the edge, and more specifically, what to do at the ledge. So this will not cover edge guarding. That should be an entirely separate video. But this is going to be at the edge. So if your opponent grabs the ledge and they're hanging there, what do you do? Right? So I've chosen Ike and Palutena as my standard characters. But before we get to it, guys, go ahead, hit that subscribe button, please. You know, if you like this video, if this is something that helps you out, help me out a little bit, spread the love. You know, I'm just trying to make videos for everybody. This is a compilation of basically what I know, 10+ year veteran. I do want to give you guys a list of everything that we're going to cover, and that's going to be what you see on the screen right there. We're going to discuss very quickly two framing, what it is. Then we'll talk about what your opponent's options are. So first, understand what they have in their pocket, right? What can they pull out if they're grabbing the ledge? That would be the roll. They have a get up, they have a jump, they can re-grab, they can stall. Those are the main ideas. Now, of course, there are aggressive options off the edge that they can do too, and that would be a part of the jump aspect of it. So this isn't going to be 100% for every single character. So let's remember this, right? This is a fundamentals video, meaning that this is something that you can apply generously to 99% of this cast. Remember, there's always the exception to the rule. Whether or not you're playing Bowser, who has a command grab, or you have Palutena, who can teleport off. You playing Byleth, who can retether into the stage. Right, so I'm going to say that, once again, there are very specifics that this cannot possibly get into, but these are generalizations that you can apply across most of the cast. Now, once you understand your opponent's options, right, then you can start learning how to punish each option. So, for example, I want to punish the roll right here, right? You have to understand how far off the character rolls off the edge, for example. What can you do? Okay, so you have to, first we're going to cover like what they can do, how can you punish it, right? So then we're going to talk about proper positioning and knowing when to stay grounded versus being in the air, because that also changes versus character to character. And then, once again, you have to know your moveset and test your options, because what might seem like it should work in theory doesn't always work in practice. Let's say you're playing like a Captain Falcon, and this is a quick character, and you're Ike, you're thinking, oh yeah, so if I know I'm playing against a Captain Falcon, and that Captain Falcon loves to jump off the edge and do like a falling back air, so like the Captain Falcon will have something like a boom, and then like they always do like a back air like this. You think to yourself, oh, well, if they're just going to jump off the edge, I should just be able to up tilt him or do a falling up air under them. That doesn't always work, because if you don't predict it at the right timing, then you're going to get punished in return for it. So even though you can choose the right punish, having bad timing can ruin your ledge trapping situation. So then you have to start thinking, what's the most optimal? Because like instead of doing like an up air and potentially missing, or a jump back air, and then let's say you do a jump back air and then the Captain Falcon ends up underneath you because you missed the back air, well, now you're at disadvantage. And if that happens even 2 times out of their 5 edge guards, that's 2 out of 5 edge guards that have been reversed on you. So those are bad choices. So in theory, the back air should work to punish like a jumping Captain Falcon or just a jumping character, but it doesn't work in practice. So then you start learning things like, okay, so like a neutral air actually covers the same thing, and I can fall with it, so even if it misses, I still have advantage by staying underneath them. So that's the kind of stuff we're going to talk about in this video. Try to keep it as short as possible, but you know me, I love to talk. I like to make sure we're thorough. I do have a cool drawing program with us today, so we're going to use that to go ahead and learn. So first thing, once again, let's go back to the list. It's two framing. What the heck is a two frame? So when a character grabs the edge, right? So this is really pertinent with like Palutena. If a character grabs the edge, they are available for about 2 frames. You see how she blinks blue? That's invincibility. So as she grabs it, right before she turns blue, you can see that she actually grabs that edge and then turns blue. And so what is happening is she has 2 frames of vulnerability. Every character, I would say not every character, but 99% of characters have a move that they can 2-frame with. So Palutena's is easy. She can just down tilt, right? She throws out this down tilt, and it covers the edge. Now, this right here is what I call bad spacing. This right here is probably the best spacing, right? You want to tip her with that down tilt. And if you happen to tip her with the down tilt, it'll actually put your opponent into a bad spot. So like if, let's say I was recovering as Ike, I would never just air dodge with my... Anyways, you can down tilt, and so for something like Palutena, she can do down tilt into like, oh, this Ike is probably going to fall after this. She can down tilt into some option, right? You see I missed the two frame there as he regrabs. But either way, down tilting, two framing is almost always your first option. By the way, before they even get to the edge, like as they're regrabbing it, learn your two frame. So Palutena is like down tilt and up smash. It has such a lingering hitbox on this thing. This is powerful, by the way, against characters like Fox, Captain Falcon, anybody that has like a really punishable two frame. There are some characters that it's almost impossible to two frame. You'll learn those as you go through it. Ike doesn't really have one. Like, he has a down tilt that kind of works, right? It's really not that good, to be honest. One of his best two frame options is probably like one of these. Like, you're gonna want to grab the edge and like do like a downer at the edge while they're recovering, and this isn't gonna work versus everybody, because like you can't do that versus like a Crom, or you can do it like versus Roy if you get behind him and like hit on the back of the head. Marth, Lucina, Mario, all the same thing. Right, same thing with like Snake. You can do like a down tilt at the edge. Something that has like a lingering hitbox there at the edge. That's probably your best bet. Okay, so let's say now your opponent is at the edge. What are their options? All right, let's look at Palutena. Okay, you can roll onto the edge and notice the kind of distance that you get off the edge there. All right, let's get this just a little bit closer to the edge so we can see it. So the Palutena rolls, she's right about there. So that means if you're going to punish the roll, you're going to want to throw out some kind of active hitbox somewhere in this general area, right? That's your good zone right here. This is the red zone, meaning that this is where she has like invincibility. You can't throw out anything here, and if you do, you're gonna miss, and she's gonna get you. She's now behind you. If you're standing, okay, let's put ourselves back in that spot, right? If you're Ike and you miss and you throw something out, like let's say you're here and you throw out a forward tilt, she rolls past you. Well, now guess what? Look at the situation. It's completely reversed. Now she's in disadvantage. Check for her. And now you're at disadvantage. No for you, because now you're closer to the edge. You have this much space between this and the edge. And she now has that much space between her. So she has the advantage. Now she's also behind you. You're facing this way. And she's right behind you. So now you have to have some kind of option where, like, you have to guess right, and if she guesses right, she's gonna beat you. So she could grab you, she could wait for you to spot dodge, she could like throw out like a forward air and then hit you out of it. I mean, with something. I mean, she's got the power position, right? So rolling's good, right? However, rolling is super punishable. Something that Ike can do is just simply charge an up smash, boom, you got it. Now, what I love about Ike's up smash is that it actually covers multiple options. So you're going to want to look for things that do cover multiple options with your character. Ike has an up smash, man. It just covers so much range. Okay. He has like we'll talk about how to punish in the future, but that's just one option. Okay. So your opponent can always roll off the edge. You have to know roll distance. Roll distances vary from character to character. Characters like Olimar, crappy rolls. Like if Olimar rolls to the edge, he only rolls like right here. So, like, his rolling is super booty. But, like, as you see, Palutena, large distance from the edge there. It's a super long roll. You can do a straight Getup. You notice I do have invincibility frames on Getup. And the higher my percentage, let's put my CPU percentage way up there. So, once you hit, like, 100%, your character actually loses some invincibility frames up on Getup, making them way more punishable. You notice that there still are invincibility frames, but it's way less. Like, see how quick the blue disappears? Which means, like, if you predict an opponent's Getup, you can smash them, and, like, you're gonna hit it. Like you're almost guaranteed to hit a smash if you predict a Getup. Once again, we'll talk about punishes in the future. But option 1, roll. Option 2, straight Getup. Now, how do you, by the way, do the roll and the Getup? Okay, so you press your shield button, you roll. You press towards the stage on your control stick. Once again, you press towards the stage on your control stick. Oh, good. Oh, God. Okay, that's how you do a regular Getup. Now, you can do a jump. Just press your jump button. You have a lot of options out of that because you do get a double jump. You do get a 2 jumps, so you can jump. You can jump, like, you can get super far away. And if I'm Palutena, I can do, like, one of these. So, Palutena's jump off the edge is super good because she can teleport back to the edge. Not a lot of characters can teleport, right? And she can do some funny things, by the way, with her teleport. We'll talk about those things in the future, right? And that's a part of her edge guarding tool, making her one of the best characters, if not the best character in the game. You can pull back on your jump. You can press towards the center stage on your jump. You can press straight up. Like, you have many different jump angles. You can recover back onto a platform if you think your opponent's going to stay safe or try to stay safe. You can hold back on your jump. You have a lot of options at a jump. Your probably first option that you're going to want to choose, your go-to option, will probably want to be the jump. This is going to be against higher level players. So if you're Palutena, most of the time you're going to want to jump off the edge. And I'm going to explain that why in the future. Just know, if you're a beginner, you're like, man, which option should I choose? Like what's my go-to option? I'm telling you, jump off the edge is your best option. Why? Because getting on the stage is mostly punishable, whereas this one has the most variation as to what you can do off of it. Okay, so the next thing that you can do, once again, let's look back at our list, right? We have jump, we can do the re-grab, and we can stall. Oh, I didn't talk about another type of jump. I'm sorry, you can do a drop-down jump. Okay, and that actually will lead to a re-grab. You can pull back, or you can press straight down. So if I'm on the edge here, if I'm Palutena and I'm hanging onto the edge, I can actually pull down on my control stick. I can push straight down, or I can push straight back. Either option. If I press straight down, this is what happens. If I press to the right, that's what happens. That's supposed to be an arrow, by the way. Oh, man. That's supposed to be an arrow. Anyways, those are my options. So the problem is if I go straight down, I'm more than likely going to have to re-grab the edge. Notice how if I first grab the edge, I blink with invincibility, right? So I'm getting invincibility here. But if I jump again, I don't get any invincibility. Now, what's good about that for, like, let's say I'm Ike, right? If I were to re-grab this edge, I can immediately down, like, oh god, see, look at his 2-frame options are terrible, right? He can down tilt you on a re-grab and then hit you out of it and get a free kill. And that's every character. So with Palutena, if I know my opponent's gonna re-grab the edge, like they're stalling on the edge doing like one of these things, I just down smash. And it kills like super high percents. Not even like super high percents, just medium high percents. So know your what moves hit below the stage. You'll notice though that Ike's what was it? Down smash didn't hit below the stage. So some hitboxes, you have to learn a thing about hitboxes too, right? So like this red's gonna be hitbox. The down smash hits right here, whereas his down tilt, which is 2 frames, actually has like a little bubble that actually hits below the stage. So it has this bubble here, and it has that little extra bubble below it, right? And that you can kind of see that with the swing, right? Whereas the down smash doesn't. It stays in the red, whereas the down tilt kind of hits below it. And so that's kind of important to know that, different moves have different hitboxes and bubbles around them. Okay, so once again, if they re-grab the edge, just to summarize it, they're back to being vulnerable. Something that I like to do, like let's say I know my opponent is like looking for like a roll or something. I'll jump off the edge. I'll press back, jump, and then I'll land with an aerial, back jump, aerial. And that's a nice little punish. So if I'm at the edge, I'm always kind of like looking for something like this. Palutena's forward air is positive on shield, meaning that even if it hits this Ike shield, I have the advantage. I have 3 frames where I can do something before the Ike can do something. That's what we call positive. Not all of them are +3, just hers are +3 on shield, right? Different aerials have different positives and negatives, so it's probably worthwhile to look at your character's sheet. Go to like smashboards.com or something like that. Anyway, so like if I can land like one of these on shield, get you to flinch, I'm gonna pull that off. And like you can do that, like let's say this Ike's trying to like charge a forward smash or something, right? Like he does something like this. You can like get behind him. You can hit him with a forward air. It's super punishable if they were to commit too early. So part of ledge trapping is not committing too early to your options. You kind of that's going to go into knowing what your punishes are. We're still talking about what your opponent can do, right? Your opponent can simply stall at the edge, which is their last option. Okay, so stalling. That's where they just sit there and do nothing. I see this more at a higher level than anything else, where like my opponent won't do anything, right? They'll get there and then they'll stop, and then they will just wait for you to do something, and then they'll play the safest option. That right there is one of the most frustrating options to choose, or to play against, rather. And the reason for it is, like, this is such a fast-paced game that most people are thinking, all right, you're at the edge, you're immediately going to do something, so I'm immediately going to throw something out and punish. So, like, I'm immediately going to, like, jump into, like, a neutral air. But then your opponent says, nah, I'm always just going to sit here at the edge. And it's kind of, I'm going to say, for me, I don't really care anymore, right? Like, when I was first playing my first 2 or 3 years, I think I got kind of, like, irritated at it. But then, like, the more I played, the more I realized how punishable it really was. And how much of a gift it really is. Because, like, you can use that to your advantage. Because what your opponent is looking for, if they're stalling at the edge, is an opportunity. Which means they are looking at your character for a visual clue as to what their next option is. So they're looking to roll. They're looking to get up. They're looking to do a jump off the edge. They're looking to do something. They're looking for an indicator. What are their indicators? Number one, they're looking to roll if you are jumping and throwing out aerials, right? So if you're trying to predict jump off the edge, the moment you jump, your opponent's going to roll. If you do a smash attack, they're looking to do a get up attack. If you turn around, if you're staying on the ground and you do like the moment you do a turnaround, they're going to jump off the edge. So they're trying to counterplay what you're giving them. Now, on the surface level, that could be frustrating, right? Because you're thinking, man, they're just waiting for me to do something and they're going to counter it. But then you have to realize, wait a second, I control their thoughts by my movement. So what I can start doing is lying to them. So things like constantly turning around, empty movement, right? Things like empty short hop. Like throw it a neutral, then don't throw it out, right? Palutena has one of like the best ledge trapping like shenanigans in the game. Go this side. Let's change it up a bit, right? Her short hop and her fast fall is so good. So you can cover basically any option. So like if you jump, let's say she's constantly jumping, right? And you're like, oh man, I'm Ike. I can roll past this. Let me get Ike on there. Like she's jumping. What if the Ike decides to just do a straight get up, right? Well, you can react to it and then you can back air it. Okay. I'll choose something different this time, right? This Palutena's constantly doing like little short hop, empty movements. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna kill myself. That's right. No. Okay, this Palutena once again doing a lot of short hops. I got back aired last time, right? So what I'm gonna do this time is I'm gonna roll. Well, notice how Palutena has a down air that covers that. So like she can on reaction, back air, forward air, and down air any of your get ups. Oh my god. So like now you understand that you have to know what your character's options. Not every character has something like that. Not every character can cover back, down, and forward, all from short hopping, covering most of the options. She can also neutral air and cover a straight up jump off the edge. She can jump over, get up attack, and punish it as well. So she can cover a lot of options just by short hopping and empty movement, which is once again killer to stalling. All right, let's go back through the list and let's talk about what knowing our options are. Okay, so how to punish each option. Okay, so real quick, if they do a get up attack, you can shield it, grab it. If they do a get up attack, you can jump over it, hit them with an aerial. So if you know that your opponent's DK and Bowser and they love to do get ups, you can bait it by running in, shielding, and grabbing it. Or once again, you can do you can jump over it, run, jump, and hit them with an aerial. This is called a shimmy. You can turn around, F smash it. So like if I'm Ike, I have like a super large forward smash, right? I can just boom, hit it. I can walk towards it, turn around, boom. I call this the stutter step, right? Act like I'm going towards the edge, turn around, and then forward smash. I do this with Mario all the time. So if you're a Mario player or a Luigi player, go for it. If you got big swords, Ike, Lucina. If you're Byleth, oh my god, Byleth has like one of the longest forward smashes in the game. Simon, Richter, Ridley has a good one, right? Because he's such a big character. His forward smash is very lagless, right? Or you can do things like down smash, right? At the edge, if your character has a ridiculous down smash, if I'm Palutena, once again, I'm trying to get maximum damage, right? So I'm probably going to do like a forward air into like a dash attack, or if you're at higher percents, I'm just going to like grab you. And then, so like if this Ike were to do a get up, let's get this Ike to do a get up. I'm probably going to try to shield this as Palutena, right? And then I'm going to try to hit you out of it and then put you into a bad spot. Okay, like, you have to learn how to optimize your character. Okay, so another option is the roll. Okay, so when you're doing the roll, once again, you have to know your character's roll distance. How you beat the roll, first off, you can bait it by jumping, right? If your character doesn't have a good forward air, you can do like a pit, or back air. Let's see, what character, every character basically has a good aerial. I would say except for like Snake, right? Snake isn't a character that you want to be in the air with. And this is going to go with knowing when to stay grounded versus being in the air, right? So we're talking how to punish each option. We're talking the roll right now. And this is when to stay grounded versus when being in the air. You want to be in the air if you have good aerials, like forward airs, back airs. It's both Ike and Palutena. You want to stay grounded if your character, like this right here, you want to stay grounded if you're like DDD, right? DDD has good ground options, good ground setups with Gordos. Pikachu can do anything, okay? So, like, once again, you have to know your character's options. If I'm Ike, Ike has some of the best options next to Palutena off the edge. Ike can cover almost every option with his neutral air. It isn't the same thing with Shulk, by the way. It hits above him, in front of him, and under him, and behind him. So he can do like one of these to do a straight get up. He can do one of these to beat a roll. He can do one of these to beat a jump off. Like, if you're out there and you're saying, man, I just want a character to pick up just to practice playing at the edge, I'm telling you, Ike is the way to go. And do a lot of short hops. Because if she does a get up attack, oh, she's right outside that perfect percent there. She's just right outside it. But, got it. If she does a get up, boom, into an up air. If she does not a get up, if she does a roll, and I'm not changing position at Ike at all, get underneath to do an up air. That's not guaranteed, by the way, but like a different, like lower percents that would be guaranteed. If she does a jump off the edge, that like she would put herself right in here, I can easily hit her with that nair, and then hit her with like a back air or something, or put her into a bad spot and get that kill. So like with Ike, all you're doing is short hopping, right? With Snake, staying grounded. All right, next up. The regrab and stalling, I think I actually covered that a little bit. Just to reiterate, if they're going to regrab or if they're going to stall at the edge, throw out a move that you can two-frame with. Once again, if they're going to stall at the edge, throw out a move you can two-frame with. I can't say this enough. I've said this so many times, right? Force it by keeping weird movement, right? By like doing, these are like stutter stepping here. These are like little pivots in place, right? Empty movement to kind of bait it out. And then if they stall, boom, hit them with a two-frame move like a down tilt. And then a lot of characters can actually punish out of like a down tilt. It's actually pretty good to know. Know your moveset and test your options. Can't say this enough. Know it, test it. Snake is going to want to use mortars. So Snake will pop like mortars right around here. That's his up smash. He's going to want to pop grenades, pop C4s, and then keep a lot of stage pressure. Something you guys want to keep in mind is when you're playing at the edge is you do not want to give up center stage control. So if you're playing against somebody that's really freaking good at the edge, like Pikachu, right? It's so hard to trap Pikachu. It's extremely difficult to trap Pikachu because Pikachu has an up B that's like invincible. And Pikachu can actually get back to the stage right about here. Same thing with Palutena. Like, just her movement in general is so good. Like, she can cancel off platforms, right? And, like, just using different options. And she can fake going on, like, she can fake, like, teleporting, like, where she's going to teleport past you. Like, if I'm Palutena and I'm on the edge, my number one goal is to get back to center stage. So know that that's what good opponents are trying to do, and they're trying to be tricky. Also, like, if I'm, like, a character like Palutena, and I have a teleport, I can do things like this, teleport off the edge and two-frame you that way. So, like, if you're actually at edge, I can actually, grab it and then ledge trump you. I didn't really talk much about ledge trumping because it's not as prevalent in today's meta as it usually is. So if your opponent's at the edge, and if you think they're going to stall, you can actually ledge trump them. Oh god, I messed up there. I did it in the end. And then you can punish them out of it. The thing about ledge trumping is, from the last game you couldn't DI it, and this game you can actually DI it, meaning that if I get ledge trumped, if I'm at the edge and somebody pops me off the edge by grabbing it, I can actually like pull back, push away, push up. I can like determine where in the air my character goes. And if I ledge trump and if I don't guess right what my opponent does, so like if it pops up the Palutena right there, and I guessed that the Palutena was going to DI back, and like I threw out a back air there, I have to now recover, and now the Palutena has me on edge, and now this is really bad. This is really bad, because now I'm on edge, and now she's going to do the same thing to me. Okay, so one more thing before we go. This is super, super important, okay? I want to talk about the flow chart real quick. What's your flow chart? When you're ledge trapping, if you're in Palutena right now, choose something to always cover. I'm telling you, this is going to be the best way to start learning. Because you have so many options. You're like, man, I have like 12 options to cover here. I can't just cover them all. Okay, that's fine. You have to cover some of them, though. So what I feel is the best to cover as like a beginner or even like an intermediate is cover all grounded options. Cover all of these options, which means put yourself in space, right? Keep yourself in this space right here. This is your yellow zone, right? Let's call it the yellow zone. This is where your character is going to be in space. Okay? If you have to be grounded, you stay grounded. If you have to use aerials because you have good aerials, use aerials, right? Your character can do specific things. Cover the roll. Okay? So you want to make sure that they aren't going to roll. You don't want to do that. You want to make sure that if they do a get up, that you can grab their get up. Okay? So like you really want to take away these two options first. Once again, cover option 1, cover option 2. Straight up. Okay? If they're having a hard time rolling and doing a get up off the edge, but then they are now going to start choosing different options, which means that they will then start going to option 3 next. Then they'll start doing option 4. And then they'll start doing option 5, which is stalling at the edge. All right? So like that's the flow chart for people who are trying to get back to edge when it comes for skill levels. Now you'll notice that like pros, once again, will default to this situation I'm gonna say like 2 to 3 out of 5 times because it's just the hardest one to cover because it has so many options out of. Which means that in the future, you're gonna want to cover this option first, or against if your opponent tells you this, like let's say you get into a match and the first thing you notice is that the opponent pulls off option number 3, well then you can say, all right, this person probably has gotten bopped a lot at the edge, and they know that if they roll or get up, like they're gonna get punished, so they're a pretty decent player. Now you gotta respect that player, right? But then, hello, right? I'm Palutena, I'm still covering like the roll, still covering the get up, and then boom, hit him out of the air. Or they jump and then boom, I caught him with the neutral air. Or I hit him with the up air underneath them. Her up air is super powerful, right? And now I've got them thinking about, oh my god, if I get off the edge now, if I jump, I get hit with an aerial. If I roll, I get hit with like something that Palutenas love to do. If they roll, because they're putting themselves in like this type of position, right? They'll just grab you and then back throw you off the stage, and then you're back on the edge guard situation, and you're right back at square one again. And if you're a higher percent, you die. So it is what it is. I'm gonna leave y'all with the classic, absolute classic. This is the classic kill move. I'm glad if you stayed this long, consider yourselves lucky. This is the classic. If a character does a get up or a get up attack, does get up or they do a get up attack. Oh my god, I'm trying to re-grab the edge, but it's not letting me re-grab the edge. Get up attack. This is the classic. Roll behind, grab, back throw. If you're Palutena, Mario, Snake, Bowser, Captain Falcon, Inkling, anybody with like a good back throw kill, Sonic, Man, this move right here is the move of moves. You can use it for anybody, but I'm telling you, it's such a good option. Like if you're doing like one of these, you're kind of making your opponent, you know, unsure of your movement pattern, and then you throw out like aerials to cover the forward air, and then they do a basic get up, and you're too far away. Oh, roll, grab. Oh god, it's done. And then you can edge guard them. I'm telling you, that's classic. There's just so much to playing at the edge that you just really can't do it in like a 5 to 10 minute video because there's just so much knowledge. If you want a very character specific fundamentals playing at the edge tutorial, you are more than welcome to ask me. I'll do my best to talk about what that character's options are. Other than that, if you like this video, give me a like. I appreciate it. Other than that, take care, everybody.